I'll move approval.
Second.
Any board discussion? All those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
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 Aye. And motion carries 4-0, and Member Walsh is not here today. And with that, I will turn it to Director Barabee and Staff Attorney McCracken to discuss the NVRH request.
Okay, so I will share the letter that we received from NVRH. You know when you can see it?
I can see it.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. So this is really about making sure that budget order item A, which is about setting the NPR total, is consistent with the board's intent and ties to condition B. So from my understanding of reviewing the transcripts is that the intent of the board was to reduce the commercial NPR commensurate with the reduction in commercial change in charge. And I think there was an inconsistency in the amount that was reduced. So I think it was reduced in an amount over the amount intended based on what was calculated in item B. So the revision would adjust item A to correlate with item B. So I think it's pretty straightforward, but you should have seen this letter, and I'm good with the math, so I just wanted to bring it back for the vote. So I'll let Russ take it from here unless there are any questions.
Sure. Thanks, Elena. I have some possible motion language for the board. If you would like, if there were questions about the letter or the math, though, those aren't captured on my motion language slide. So I did want to give the board an opportunity to ask those of Elena before I pull up the motion language.
Sure. I'm familiar with this issue and I have no questions, and I'll turn it to the other board members.
In that case, I should be sharing my screen with some possible or some suggested motion language. Essentially, it says we're changing condition A in NVRH's budget order to what NVRH had kind of requested based on the adjusted calculation of NPR that correlates to the change in charge and rate reduction that the board had ordered. There wouldn't be any other changes in the budget order. It would just be this new paragraph as condition A, and we would issue sort of a simple correction in the budget order, or a simple modification rather in the budget order.
Is there any board discussion of the motion? Anyone like to make the motion?
I'll move that we modify condition A and NVRH's fiscal year 24 budget order to read as proposed on the slide.
I'll second it.
And if there's no other board comment or discussion, I'll turn to the healthcare advocate for any points they would like to make.
Nothing from us. Good to be with all of you. Seems like it's been a while. Take care.
Yeah, nice to see you too, Sam. I'll open it up for public comment. All right, seeing none, I think we can take a vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Aye. And the motion carries with 4 votes. Thank you very much, Mr. McCracken and Ms. Barabee. And thank you to NVRH for raising this issue and sending us a letter. And we're glad that this was resolved.
Yeah, thank you. Just want to express my appreciation for all of you and the support of your staff. We really appreciate this. Thank you.
Great, thank you. The second agenda item was a review of budget order cap on change in charge.
So I am going to share some generic language that is reflected in each of the budget orders. Let me know when you can see it. Good. Okay. So I think there've been a number of questions from hospitals about budget order items B and C and the intent and how the mechanics of those items work. So the first one is hospitals' overall change in charge and commercial rate increases are approved at no more than X% over current approved levels, with no commercial rate increase for any payer at more than X% over current approved levels. So I think the question is this a by payer rate cap? We had not done this in the past, and I think going back again to the intent and the discussion of the board is that this is intended to be a cap at the payer level. And item C kind of underscores that this commercial rate increase cap in paragraph B is a maximum. So I think, because this is a new item, we're working on a letter that is forthcoming that will kind of spell this out in detail. But just wanted to underscore the language here in case there's any confusion, and just let folks know that we will be issuing a letter shortly on that. So no discussions needed. I just wanted to let everyone know because there have been a number of questions.
Ms. Barabee, just, am I correct that this condition B and C is in all 14 hospital budget orders? Is that right?
That's correct. Yes.
I didn't have anything else. And is there any other public comment? Stephanie Briot.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, I don't have a camera today, but on this device. But I think with this recommended change that you just had up on the screen, I think it's challenging for hospitals who are having a price increase on their hospital-based services, but a different or no price increase on their professional fees, to have one number outlined in the budget order. Does that make sense? Should I explain a little more?
It does, but if you would like to extrapolate or speak a little more about it, you're welcome to.
I'm the CFO at Northwestern Medical Center, just for the record. I'll kind of put that out there. So, and my hospital is an example of this. So for Northwestern Medical Center, for our 2024 budget, we asked and were approved for a 7.1% rate increase, which means increase in our prices, right? For hospital inpatient services. And then we were approved for a 7.1% price increase on our hospital outpatient services and a 0% rate increase on our professional fee services. And when you apply those price increases to the volume assumptions that are in our budget, it comes out to a weighted average overall 6% increase in payments or reimbursements to the hospital. If our budget assumptions are not exact, right? If we end up providing more hospital-based services and fewer professional fee services, that overall weighted increase of 6% becomes something else. It could be higher, it could be lower, it will fluctuate according to payer. And so having just in our case, the 6% as the only thing that's referenced is really tough. Because, we have every reason to believe our budget assumptions are accurate, but their assumptions and their estimates and inevitably will be off somewhere, especially if you break it down to a specific payer. Does that help? Okay.
Yes, that was helpful. Thank you. The next comment, Judy Fox, Ms. Fox, the CEO of Rutland. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Thanks for the time. I would just like to ask how this budget order item agrees or complies or supports the budget guidelines that were put in place at the beginning of the budget season, and actually 2 years ago, if we're thinking about the net patient service restrictions and the trend rate of 8.6%. We took those budget guidelines seriously in Rutland. And this, from my perspective, appears to be a different guideline and a restriction that we didn't have the opportunity to consider as we built our budget. We haven't been under the thought or the awareness that budgets were being managed at the payer level, but only at the aggregated net patient service revenue level. And so as we considered our rate strategy, that may have been a little different for us had we understood the specificity in the net patient service revenue criteria.
And Ms. Fox, I don't have your budget in front of me. I didn't review it since this summer. But is there a breakdown of the various payer level increases in the budget that's submitted to the board, or no? I think not.
So no, I think how you try to achieve that is through Schedule 10, and that's the information that we provide to you.
Right.
And then if there would be written, testimony or questions, we would have provided additional information there as well. But this is a new restriction or requirement that we didn't have the opportunity to consider.
I have a couple other questions, but it may make more sense to just speak directly if that's okay with you.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you for your comment. Any other public comment? Okay. Is there any, or I didn't turn to the healthcare advocate. Sam, did you have anything?
No, nothing right now. Thank you.
Great. All right. Is there any new or old business to come before the board? And is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right. And all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. And we are adjourned. Thank you.